All new at 6 o'clock. He was the youngest member ever elected to the Richmond County School Board, and he was dead a week after the election.
Anybody who knew Tyreek knew it was more to the story.
The GBI ruled Tyreek Robinson's death a suicide, but his family believes the chapters leading up and following his death cast a shadow of doubt over the narrative. They tell our I-team they want the truth no matter what it is. Senior investigative reporter Liz Owens investigates the death of a politician.
Well, and the truth is Tyreek did have a lot going on the month before his death, including allegations of stealing $250,000 from his mentor. She went public with that the day before his death. We uncovered what Tyreek had not made public. He was pursuing assault and battery charges against his mentor's ex-boyfriend from an incident involving the three of them at a casino last spring.
911, do you need police, fire, or an ambulance?
Anybody. My brother committed suicide.
Okay.
Money?
Everyone on dispatcher, you'll see.
He wasn't answering phone, so something told me to come check up on him.
Do you know if he was going through anything or?
Yeah. He just got District 6.
Tyreek Robinson had a lot going on the month before winning District 6 and becoming the youngest member ever elected to the Richmond County Board of Education. The 20-year-old learned he was going to be a father for the second time. He was receiving backlash from aligning himself with new candidates. Rumors began circulating on social media over his sexuality. And the day after the election, his mentor, Melissa Oden, accused him of stealing $250,000.
To anybody who knew Tyreek knew it was more to the story.
We found it's a story full of unexpected twists and turns, with an ending just as baffling as the chapters leading up to his death.
Ask the brother if he moved the firearm. Did you touch the firearm?
Yeah, I moved it.
Okay.
Investigators with the Richmond County Sheriff's Office did not recover any fingerprints on the gun, despite Tyreek's brother moving it. According to their investigative notes, neither did they recover prints on the mags, rounds, AirPods, 2 cell phones, or a knife, all in the bed next to his body. The gun itself, no serial number, so no record. Investigators state they could not recover the number. No footage from the security cameras either. The investigator notes he received an email from Comcast's legal department advising they do not have an account with the listed address or camera system for Tyreek Robinson. The I-team asked the Richmond County Sheriff's Office, is it odd or unusual not to be able to recover any prints, security video, or the serial number on the gun found at a suicide? We made a request under Georgia Open Records law for the email from Comcast to the investigator. The Sheriff's Office replied stating the email was deleted. The I-team asked their IT department to recover it. They replied, IT was unable to recover the email. Your questions have been forwarded to the sheriff. Also perplexing, dispatch did not receive any calls about gunfire from the apartment complex that Monday or Tuesday. The GBI autopsy report found everything normal, down to fingernails. No mention of gunpowder or blood on his hands. They did not perform a toxicology. The official calls a death on the GBI's report suicide. When was the last time you saw him?
That Monday.
Kim Gowdy last saw her son the day before he died when he left her house to go to Perry, Georgia.
He was going to Perry, Georgia for the board training. As far as I know, my husband and his dad, they found the key to the hotel, but I can't say.
The I-team made a trip to Perry and asked if Tyreek ever checked into his room. The clerk told us she can only give the person who made the reservation that information, which would be with the Richmond County Board of Education.
He was looking forward to, to the, training and stuff, so I don't know what made him come back.
Photos from the scene of his apartment show a bathtub full of water, Tyreek naked in bed, ankles crossed in a blanket, pulled up and tucked around him. Richmond County investigators wrote in their notes that they were unable to access security footage from his apartment, so we don't know when Tyreek returned home from Perry. However, deputies at the scene did see where the alarm on his door activated.
That door was open at 9:30 last night. He was in Atlanta at 9:30 last night. Mama said whenever she talks to her sons on the phone, both of them, him and the other one down there, she checks their location just to see where they're at. And said his phone showed him in Perry, Georgia. Suspicious?
Tyreek's family found the most suspicious piece of this puzzle 3 weeks later when investigators returned Tyreek's 2 cell phones.
All the pictures, all the video and most of the pictures of him and Melissa, their text message was deleted. Call log from her was deleted.
Melissa Oden is a businesswoman, owner of several local nursing homes as well as other businesses. She told the I-Team she was Tyreek's mentor and business partner in a trucking and transportation business. Oden also helped him with his campaign, even going as far as to ask her friend, former Commissioner Ben Hassan, not to run against Tyreek. She also contacted us the Friday before Tyreek's death, texting, "Liz, Melissa Oden, I have a very important story to tell you about a newly elected official who has been stealing."
I went into the iCloud. I got in touch with my oldest son first. He worked me and told me how to do it. I went in the iCloud, paid the $9 for the storage, cut the phone off, rebooted it, and did all that. The messages and the pictures came all back up.
The files Tyreek's stepfather recovered paint a different picture of Melissa and Tyreek's relationship. They went to a strip club together. They went on trips together, including Harris Casino in Cherokee, North Carolina in May of last year.
Tyreek went out of town with her. He called me. He said, "Mom, I got something to tell you." He said, "Don't tell Pop." I said, "What?" He said, "I got into a fight." He said, "I was protecting her. Her ex-boyfriend came here."
According to the incident report from the Cherokee Indian Police Department, Melissa's ex-boyfriend assaulted her and Tyreek. In her statement to police, she says the ex-boyfriend flew all the way here from Texas because he heard she was going to be here. Oden stated he thought there was something sexual happening between the two of them and came to confront Robinson.
He said that Melissa wanted him to not go forward with it.
This text from Melissa to Tyreek after the incident at the casino was among the recovered files on his phone. Ty, Lindsay wants to know how much for you to write a letter and not to press charges. $8,500? Actually, make it $10K.
He said, "Mom, I got to go forward with it."
Melissa herself emailed the district attorney in North Carolina asking for their court date to be moved due to the original date falling on Election Day. Tyreek died before the rescheduled court date and before he could go forward with the charges and before Melissa changed her story according to Tyreek's mother.
What did she recant?
The whole story. She said she blamed it on Tyreek. She said Tyreek was the aggressor.
The I-Team reached out to Melissa. She asked us what she said in her statement to police and for us to send her the police report from Cherokee. We did. She replied with her attorney's name. Randolph or Randy Frales represents Melissa Oden. He also represents the Richmond County Sheriff's Office.
And she has decided that it's really not appropriate for her to even comment on this issue that occurred in Cherokee or anything that may have occurred with the young man Tyreek, who is now deceased, who committed suicide.
I just want to make sure that this isn't a conflict of interest with you representing Melissa and the Sheriff's Office.
I don't even see where a conflict arises where I represent Melissa Oden and represent the Sheriff's Office also. I mean, she didn't cause his death. She wasn't involved in his death. It's quite evident that this young man, anybody that commits suicide, they must be dealing with some issues that the world is unaware of, else they wouldn't commit suicide. And
It's unreal. It's like a nightmare you keep waking up from.
A nightmare because the family believes the whole story about their son.
So am I doing my report as a unattended death or
Might lie in the missing puzzle pieces.
suicide?
We are still going through the files the family say they recovered from Tyreek's phone, which they hope will help to connect the dots to something they believe is much bigger than their son.
A tragedy with so many questions there lingering. Liz, thank you.